This has been making its rounds, and I wanted to give my 2 cents on it. The UK government announces a ban on Wincest simulation in R18 content. Offenders could face several years in prison. An amendment tabled in Parliament makes it illegal to possess or publish such material. Right. Well, everyone else is latching on to this aspect of it being used to attack anime and video games and stuff, and it will. It will. They're absolutely right that it's the beginning of the end. This is protect children. This is protect women. And that's what it's going to end up being. It's just a foot in the door. This is the crack they're creating in the monolith. Then they are going to just get further and further in, infect further and further deeper until their tendrils stretch far enough to rip the whole thing apart. They're going to start with, oh, well, incest is bad, so you're okay with this, right? And then it will be complete and total conditioning from then on out. Note that they say it's illegal to possess it. It's not illegal now, but they're going to make it illegal to possess. So they're going to retroactively make something that's currently legal, illegal, in ownership of. Like coming to take your guns if you were in America. Except how are they going to come to everyone's computers and take them? And that's what should worry you. How are they going to do that? They think that they can. They seem to have no problem believing that they're able to. So that should worry you. Exactly. How do they intend to control you? Because that's what this is at the end of the day. It's not protection. It's not morality. It's control. On the topic of morality, who exactly is there deciding whether or not roleplay, fictional roleplay, is or isn't moral? I hate to break it to the world out there, but your favorite female streamer, your favorite female ASM artist, guess what? They make extreme age gap roleplays. They make Wincest roleplays. They have animal toys. They wear dog collars. They do all of that stuff that you are disgusted by. Oh, I hate all men. Men are the root of all evil. All these women on the internet, they do all of those things. All of your favorite women. Not all of them. I'm not trying to say every single woman does that, but a lot of them do. A lot of the ones that you see right on the front page of Twitch or YouTube, they do it. So, who's there deciding what is and isn't allowed on the internet is, or shouldn't be, the soulless, vacant vessel of a human staring back at you right now? They should not have control over that, but they want control over it because they want control over you. They want to decide what fictional roleplays you're allowed to see. Meanwhile, in the UK, first cousin marriages is legal, which is categorically, definitively, irrefutably, incontrovertibly incest. And yet, that's okay because what exactly? Muslims want it? Is that why? I mean, he's certainly not doing this for the sake of Christian morals, is he? So whose morals is he doing it for? And if you're talking about leftisms, the left think the only thing better than abortion is being gay. Well, you can't have a mutant incest baby if that's what's happening. So, and even if you did, you could just abort it, right? So, whose morals is he talking about here? This is just thought policing. That's what's happening. It's thought policing so that they can dictate what is and isn't moral, and that they can get their foot in the door, and they can have more and more control over what the population is allowed to see, what they're allowed to enjoy, what they're allowed to think, and eventually they shape them and form them into what they want them to be. Now that's where we've gotten to where we are now, and I'm not saying every single thing that's done in the past was good, but I do think that we are in a relatively good place compared to some other parts of history, and I don't think that what he wants to do is going to lead us to a better place. He wants censorship for the sake of conditioning, and I'm going to segue that into this post I saw on Reddit a few days ago. I occasionally look at the legal advice subreddit for the UK, and every now and then there's some funny posts. So they said, I've just had a call from my son's school. He is being referred to Protect for comments he has made. I've been asked to come in at 4 p.m. for a meeting with the safeguarding lead. So her son is 15 years old, and the school has called up her because of comments that he made during a debate. And we learn from their comment here that they were doing a class on conscious bias and different jobs worked by men and women. So this was actually a debate in a class about conscious bias. Just let that sink in for a second. The school, well, okay, I guess I should clarify something. They said protect, but what they actually meant was prevent. They misheard it, and they actually meant prevent, and they say that later on. Sorry, it was prevent. They said, can't read my own handwriting. So prevent, you may remember that from the Pathways experience that the UK put out with Amelia and all of that. Yes, Pathways. It taught us about prevent, and what it taught is that prevent was an intelligence network that was designed basically to control their own population, to slowly condition people into thinking that literally anything is radicalization, and that you need to report everything, and that everyone is some sort of criminal unless they do exactly what Keir Starmer tells them to do. And that's just a way to control your population. You're convincing people to rat their friends and family out over every little thing. This is a 15-year-old boy in school being detained by his school, and they're contacting his parents because he made inappropriate comments during a class on conscious bias and the different jobs worked by men and women. Now, you may have read it already. The school said, he said, women are, this is a quote, women are living life on easy mode, and if a man can't find a job, he can't just hop in front of a webcam and make bank. Wow. That's so radical, man. You know that this guy is going to grow up to lead a cult that brutalizes women, don't you? I mean, what an evil thing to say. The truth is that 99.99% of R18 content is made by women, or males depicting women, or male to female transgenders. Like, very, very, very little of it is made of males. And what is transgendered or traps or whatever, femboys and such. There's no market for males. And even if there was, even if a male did have a way to make money by selling themselves on the internet like that, they would be ostracized for doing it because it's wrong for a man to do it. It's okay for a woman to do it. Everyone knows this is the bias that we exist in. And, I mean, the mere fact that I can't say the P word or the W word to define these people, and I have to say sex worker or adult entertainer, the fact that you have to say cam girl instead of cam her, is because there is this bias to protect women. And you can see this in this thread where people keep calling it disgusting and vile. There's some people more exaggerated than others who are freaking out about this. But it's exclusively based off of this anti-male, pro-female thing. Like, I don't know what this said because it was removed by the moderator, but someone responded with, heavily into the manosphere? There's absolutely no evidence at that point. And someone, they get downvoted 25 times for saying this, because the kid said that women live life on easy mode because they could just hop in front of a webcam. And someone responded with, quote, women live life on easy mode doesn't come from men who respect women. Quote, men have to find work, but women can just be sex workers, is the thought straight from the manosphere. The truth is not from the manosphere. The truth is just the truth. You thinking that it's from the manosphere is because you're a misandrist. You hate men. And they got upvoted 38 times for saying that. Weirder still is that first comment that got downvoted, they doubled down on their belief here, and they got upvoted 8 times for saying it. They get downvoted 25 times, then they double down and they get upvoted 8 times. And the person who just is saying that this is all misogynistic gets mass upvoted as well. What is the timeline here of this? How can you get downvoted and then upvoted for saying the same thing in the same sub? I don't understand that. But the point is that people are all saying that this is disgusting speech and misogynistic and such. But you do have people saying that they shouldn't have prevent called on them, which is my point here. Like, prevent was made to control people, right? Like, it started with, oh, you're not supposed to be terroristic. Okay, that makes sense, right? We wouldn't want terrorists in our midst, would we? We wouldn't want our children to be radicalized into being terrorists. But this kid just said the truth, which is that women can just hop in front of a webcam and make bank. There are kids who grow up being sexploited by their parents on YouTube and stuff, and on their 18th birthday, they make a fans-only account, and guess what? They're a millionaire, and day one, it's proofed over and over again. And you know what the sick reality is? this 15-year-old boy feels like he lives in that world. This 15-year-old schoolboy believes that he lives in a world where he is constantly held down and girls can just take off their clothes and live life on easy mode. And guess what? Girls think that too. Girls know that they can do that. School children, preteens, they know that this is the way the world works because this speech is protected, and it's protected by people like Keir Starmer and all these weirdos on Reddit who think that you're not allowed to say the truth and you have to hide the truth. Keir Starmer's not trying to protect children with all of his laws regarding censorship and who can access social media and all that kind of crap. No, he's trying to control people. The people on Reddit, they're trying to control you. They're trying to control what you're allowed to say. You're not allowed to say that. That's misogynistic. You know, you're not allowed to say the truth. The truth that men can't just hop in front of a webcam and make bank, but women can. That's misogynistic to say that. And by the way, I couldn't find the responses to these, so I suppose they're deleted, but this is the OP here. And they're responding to people saying, I think you're getting a little bit carried away. I'm his mother. He's never once chatted back to me. He does his chores when I tell him. He turns his phone off to the night when I tell him to. This is weird, but he's had a girlfriend for 2 months, and he's asked his parents about having sex with her, and he's stressed that he's not trying to force it on her and stuff. And I mean, I don't understand why you would ever talk to your parents regarding something like that. And that actually suggests more to the point of control. Like, he's controlled to the point where a 15-year-old boy gets in a relationship with a girl, and within 2 months of being in a relationship with her, he's approaching his parents to ask them how to go about having sex with her. That is not normal. That is not a normal way for anyone to go about things. I mean, I don't agree with people of this age being interested. I mean, I understand they're interested in it, of course, but I don't really think that such a thing should be, like, how do I want to say it, sanctified by society, which it is, where it's like, it's totally normal for 12-year-olds to have boyfriends and girlfriends. Like, I don't agree with that. They're not ready for it. And even at this age, with the way we currently treat children, they're completely coddled, they're totally irresponsible into their 20s, as we see all the time with the protesters in the streets. They're not really ready for that kind of relationship, but that's kind of alluding to my point here. The control is so much that a 15-year-old boy is asking their parents how they should go about having sex with this girl because he's brainwashed to think he needs permission from his parents to go about his own intimate, personal, private life. I mean, it's weird that kids are using sex as an icebreaker, but that's a totally different can of worms. The point is, if he was some Tate-brained, manosphere, abusive, misogynistic person, would he be approaching his parents to ask for advice about this? No, I think it's pretty obvious that that wasn't what was going on here. And the mother, she said her son's a good kid who protected his sister from her abusive boyfriend, and he has a friend group of males and females who come over to play board games. And then someone seems to have asked if it was Warhammer. I guess that made him a bad person. When she said it was Stranger Things, they were playing a Stranger Things board game or something. So, according to this person who asked, does that mean that liking Warhammer makes you an evil misogynist now? Well, I'll be sure to have more Necromunda gameplay in the background of this video, even though it's a pretty bad game. See, this is where censorship leads. They're going to make Warhammer 40k illegal because it's misogynistic, and they get to decide that. They're going to make definitively accurate words to describe sex sellers illegal because they're mean words that hurt people's feelings, and people should just be able to take off their clothes whenever and wherever they want without anyone saying toxic words to them. They're going to send school children to government-run re-education programs because they spoke the truth. It's so successful that I saw another now deleted thread on Legal Advice UK. They saw it a couple of days ago. I wouldn't have included it anyway because it was kind of weird, but they were asking for help to self-report. They didn't say what they were doing, but I was sort of shocked to see someone so deranged that they came to Reddit to ask for advice on which government entity to contact in order to re-educate themselves. I mean, how have they gotten to this point? What's wrong with the UK? But yeah, it starts with kids saying crap like this, and where does it go? Like, Collective Shout, they came for Steam to protect women and children, right? People came for Pixiv and other places as well. They will keep coming, and politicians will keep capitulating. But you know who they won't punish? The women doing it. Visa, they were all too ready to cut off access to Steam, to itch.io, to Pixiv and other massive platforms, art platforms, by the way. You can call it, bad art if you want to, R18 and such, but it is still art, at least more so than girls with their animal toys saying yes daddy and rental mommy and all of that. See, they'll allow girls to keep buying their bad dragons, but they'll cancel Pixiv. How is that fair? YouTube will continue to have an infinite amount of mommy roleplays on it, but Steam gets targeted by Visa. How is that fair? They'll categorize anything fringe as a danger for children, meanwhile Britney Spears and Taylor Swift brainwash those very same kids before they even hit puberty to have some very strong beliefs about women. So that before they're even out of school, they're already cooked. Men already look at women a certain way. By the time they're 18, I guess I should say boys already look at girls a certain way, and girls already look at the world a certain way as well. The evidence that they aren't protecting children is that they aren't attacking the number one offender, thirst traps. Because real life is far more dangerous, far more damaging to them, I should say, than anime girls and video game girls. The real girls doing this establish far more brainwashing. Not to say that the anime stuff isn't like something to do with it, but I think it's a bit extreme to just pin it all on video games, don't you think? Pin it all on role plays while you have cousin marriages that actually exist, that you're okay with. It's all to establish control. We know it. We all know this. Censoring role plays, censoring flat-chested anime girls, censoring violent video games, it's all total BS that they are shoveling with the help of emotionally unstable Karens and easily manipulated children. And for the record, I don't like that Rupert Lowe is using the men bad, protect women and children narrative either for deportations and such, but I'll still take him over Starmer any day. The level of self-serving hypocrisy and allowing cousin marriages, yet making roleplay illegal, is just unfathomably disgusting. Anyway, thanks for watching.